Ready?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was loud. I think I'm going to have Tyler make a song for us.
That's a good idea. We're beasts today.
Powering through, bitches. Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 587.
Goodness.
Oh,
I know.
Your Ugger. I'm going to use that from now on. How's your Ugger?
Ugger is working
It
just
almost sounds
fine.
bad, but it's not.
Oh, right. See, you spin everything.
I'm sorry.
Dirty. No, don't be sorry.
Although
I have such a naive mind, though. I'm like, wait,
you just
what?
don't go there. You just
I
don't go there.
know. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. Daryl, you might have to cut this out, but I think it's fucking funny as hell. I was watching TikTok and this guy, he goes, I just saw a black man call the squirrel a squigga.
That's actually funny.
A squigga.
Why is that not? Okay.
Because it's like saying when
I know, but it's not saying the word.
like-
and I would laugh if I saw someone do that.
hey, squigga. And I'm like, what?
It would have to be a black man. He's the only one who
He's
could
the only
say
one
that.
can say, I would not walk around calling creatures that.
No.
But it was so fucking funny. I'm like, I love people.
Oh, God, I do too.
I don't, but I love that. That was really
Sometimes.
funny. Anyway, okay, so jumping right in. So there's this new thing going on. This is also this show is predominantly social media based, but I have some questions for you later that because I'm going to put you on the spot in a minute. But there's this new thing where people are having kidless weddings. Now, kidless weddings is not a new concept.
No.
Everything is, everybody does everything. Weddings it's very open now, like, which I love, because when I wanted to get married and I said, hey, I want black and white photography, and everybody's like, why would you do that? That is so dumb. And now, of course, everybody
does
has
it.
black and white photography. So it's like, I get it,
Yeah.
So things are cyclical. But right now, everybody's on this kick of kidless weddings, and people who are parents are like, I'm offended. And other people are like,
Well, thank God it's not your wedding.
yeah, clearly you already had your wedding. But the other thing is, it's like nobody understands unless you were to really go for full force. You and I never really did. Kids are a liability. And when you have an event at a place, there is usually a clause that says if children are here
And somebody gets hurt.
if they get hurt, if they break something,
Right.
if something happens,
You have
you
to
are
pay for
paying
it.
for it.
Right,
so
right.
which means you need an insurance policy
Got
for
it.
children. No, I'm not doing that. If I was 20 something and I was getting married, it would be kidless. 100%.
Yeah.
There
I
was-
think full disclosure is what's important there. If you know full and well in advance, look,
Yes.
I'm inviting you. We totally want you to be
No
there.
children, no one
but
under 18.
No one's bringing kids.
And when I say kids, I mean 18 and under.
yeah, and it's like, and if you don't come, I totally get it.
Yeah.
We're fine.
It's
Not a deal breaker for our friendship if you can't make it the wedding because the kids.
Right. And the way I look at it is like, look, you have kids, you want a kidless night, come to the wedding. It's going to be banging.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
it's usually a night wedding. There's
It's a
gonna be
party.
booze.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to me, it's like, then there's like, well, your maid of honor has a child. I'm like, well, then I will help her pay for childcare.
Yeah. If it's not
Like,
important.
if it's that important that I want her there, and I don't want a liability, then yeah, I think that's fine. And
I mean, why all these fucking millennials or whoever?
should I be offended?
No, they have date night. What do they do with their fucking kids on date night?
You drag them along? No,
No, they don't.
don't.
They do
No,
not.
you get a babysitter.
And we all are like, oh, how cute, date night. That's what keeps the spice going. But if somebody wants a wedding where they actually enjoy it without a bunch of little Banshee Indians running around,
Suddenly, you know
they're
what?
an asshole.
Listen, our mom said this to us many years ago. She goes, wedding, death, birth always brings the worst out in people.
Oh, she's not wrong.
No matter who you are. Everybody wants to know where they belong. What position do they have? Even if you're a guest.
Right.
Everybody
Stupid.
wants to know. And so the way
And
that
somebody always gets way too drunk.
always, there's always some person throwing up somewhere or making a fool.
Or just making a total fool.
Usually luckily it's never us.
It's been me once at a Christmas party.
But that's not a wedding.
But that was where I learned my lesson. No. I mean, you have to learn where
yeah, you
when
do.
you're socially interacting with people you work with.
Oh, yes,
you
we've
can't
talked
act
about
like you're
that.
with your besties or your Uggs.
Yes,
and I
100%.
made that mistake.
You are correct. Okay, so here's another thing that happened. I was watching another TikTok. Sorry, it's TikTok. This
TikTok
woman was,
obsessed.
So this woman was telling a story about how, for some reason, her husband had to pack some clothes for her,
Okay.
and he grabbed.
In my world, that would never happen, but okay.
we're going to get to it. So he grabbed her jeans that she's trying to fit into.
Oh, no.
A yellow sweater that was getting ready to go to Goodwill. And some shoes that she uses to mow lawns and stuff. Like, it's not
And
real
her period underwear.
And period underwear. And that's what he brought her. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me
I can
now?
wear none of this.
Do you even know who I am?
Right? Obviously not.
Because here's the thing. You know she has said, these are the jeans I'm trying to fit into by the fall. This sweater is going to Goodwill. Do you have anything? And here's the pile. And, he just went, grab, and walked
you know
out.
what? The way I see it is he probably was like, oh, I love it when she wore this sweater. It's cute.
Right.
These jeans are nice. And
Sure.
those underwear always look cute on her. That's what men think. They don't put any more thought into it than that.
So it reminded
My husband would do this exact thing, by the way.
all husbands would do this exact same thing.
I don't know. Daryl is pretty.
Oh, let me tell you a story. I'm glad you said that.
Because he's so scared of you. They'd be like, wait,
No.
this is critical.
No, he's not afraid of me.
If I do the wrong thing.
Nope. So this was a couple of weeks ago, and we were heading to celebrate our anniversary. We're going to the Bay Area. Lovely time, by the way. Anyway, so it's the Bay Area. It's going to be cold, even though it was 107 here.
Always chilly there.
He's like, are you bringing a sweater? And I said, I don't know if I'm going to need a sweater.
Oh,
He goes,
God.
No, you're going to
never
need a
go
sweater.
to the city without a sweater.
I said, all right, well, I'll go up and I'll grab my pink. I have this pink puffy. No, it's a pink sweater cardigan, but it's like the puffy sleeve look. It's really cute.
Okay.
It goes with everything. And I said, I'll just grab that. He goes, well, I'll get it for you. And I said, oh, thanks, honey. I said, it's pink. It's hanging up next to all my other stuff. So he goes upstairs. He comes downstairs with something pink, but it was my robe. I said, he goes, here you go. I go, well, that is my robe. Thank you, but I don't think I should wear that to the restaurant. And he's like, oh. He goes, well, you said it was pink and it was hanging up. I'm like, this is on the back of the door. I said it was hanging up with my clothes.
Oh, God. That's funny.
I said, in my mind, I'm like, dear God, if I ended up...
How did we make the leap from
if it's pink,
bathrobe on the back of the door
because
to
it was pink and hanging.
puffy sweater hanging in the closet?
And I said, dear God, in my mind, I'm thinking, if God forbid I was hospitalized
Oh, God.
and he had to come home and grab items,
I'd do it for you.
he'd be like, well, all of this stuff was just sitting in a pile, so I grabbed it and go, yeah, those are all clothes I can't fit into, and I'm trying to get rid of them.
Well, then why are they in your closet? Yeah.
And you brought me
Oh, my God.
clogs.
Oh,
Why
my
did you
God.
bring my clogs? I don't understand. I'm like, what? I go, no bras, no underwear. He goes, well, I don't know. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I go, God forbid we had to flee. And he was in charge of grabbing clothes.
That's why you should have like an emergency kit somewhere.
A go bag.
Yeah, totally.
So anyway, I'm just like, I don't think this is... When our mother was hospitalized several years ago and her husband brought her clothes, he brought her a dozen shirts.
She's like, wow, well, and some of them were like his old painting shirts and stuff.
Yes. Every
He's
pair...
like, well, you sleep in that. She's like, well, not in the hospital.
Every single pair of underwear she owned. Literally.
You never know. She might need 30 pairs.
2 pairs of socks.
That's helpful.
And 3 pajama bottoms.
Okay.
No pants, no slippers,
No
no
real
shoes,
clothes.
No. So I had to go to Nordy Rack and I bought her a bunch of clothes.
She's like, thank you.
She's like, thank God.
I know, right?
She's like, this is... And then, of course, because she's our mother, she's like, I tried everything on, and frankly, I'm just not going to wear this. I think you need to let's go ahead and return this. And now I'm a private shopper.
Well, here's the thing about mother that I will say. I appreciate her candor.
100%.
And she's always
When it
been
comes
that
to
way.
that, I agree. Yes.
She's always been that way.
Yes.
And she truly does not care if she's giving you a piece of her clothing that she can't wear anymore,
Yeah.
or she's suddenly determined it's inappropriate. I can't tell you how many V-neck shirts I've gotten from her. She's like, well,
It was just a bit low for me.
Yeah, I'm like, really? You know what I mean?
It's a V-neck, Mom.
It's a V-neck, right?
It's White Stag from Walmart. I don't think they're trying to make a statement with this. It's just
right?
not for
And
her.
she's like, but she means it when she says, if you don't like it, give it to Goodwill. I don't care. She really doesn't
she's
fucking
already
care.
she's already detached from it.
It's been mourned and lost, and
Yeah,
she's done
she's like,
with
you know
it.
what? Oh well, I threw the tags away. Here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
No emotional attachment whatsoever.
None.
But yeah, and then on some point, I think she liked having the privilege of sitting there going, you know what?
Absolutely.
I don't think I'm gonna
Mother,
go with
she's
this.
the biggest diva on the planet.
100%.
I think they created the word bougie for her.
Bougie indeed.
Oh my God.
It's shocking that
You
she
know what?
doesn't drink. Actually,
That's the thing, right? She is Kris Jenner. The funny thing is mom, and bless her heart for it, she also should have been rich. Like she should have been born. I don't know if this is in a past life if she was.
Oh, our genetics have absolute royalty.
Because she's like, how in the hell am I living in squalor? This is not my life. I should not be. Yeah, no, you're right.
No. And she knew it her whole life. She goes, don't you think I feel it? Again. Totally. Again with the overboard.
Totally.
It's true. She's like, did I move here deliberately? I think she came out of the womb like that.
Hovel.
She probably came out. She goes, well, this is my life.
Okay. Accept it, embrace it.
I guess I'm just going to have to move forward and find my way out of it. Claw my way out. And she did. And she did.
It's true.
Anyway, okay. So I was watching a podcast of these two guys, and they were talking about the lesser of two evils when it comes to hot women. Okay. They're like, would you rather date someone who dabbles in crystal meth or believes that crystals are real? You know, that kind. Exactly.
All right.
So now I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can ask Stephanie
some
questions.
That's easy, actually, for me.
Here we go. Would you rather date a guy who is really into his team of a sport that you do not follow? And when I say into it, I mean season tickets, podcasts, Reddit forums.
All things.
All of his clothes are team clothes, his home decor.
Okay.
All of it. Or a guy whose best friend is a girl he's known since 5th grade and is part of his guy group.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Which one would you have to, and you have to date one of them.
It would have to be A.
The sports guy?
Yeah, because I've been the best friend girl before, and that never works out.
It never works out.
No. And it's a lie.
That's what I thought.
It's a lie.
I don't care.
Man, I don't care if you're the girl and the guy is your best friend and you're telling your husband he's just a friend, or if it's the guy and the girl and he's telling his wife, you're lying.
Sex is always on the table.
Mm-hmm. And you've probably already done it.
And the girl will be quick to tell you, by the way, I've been there. It's fine. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out for us.
Nope.
And then suddenly
they're the only ones that know, and that's part of the illusion.
The thrill.
And maybe they've decided they're never going to do it again, but they've already done it. Once somebody's seen your man's wiener, then
it's over.
You cannot be my friend.
Not really.
No. Unless it was something like pre-me.
No, I get you. I understand.
Yeah.
But having an active woman in his life?
No.
I don't like that.
It's not because I'm threatened or jealous, because I'm actually not a super jealous person.
It's not, but it's also like, there's something weird about a guy who's really good friends with a girl, like best friends with a girl, and yet it goes nowhere.
I just feel like it's a lie. And I've had a best friend as a guy, and even though for most of the 15 years we were best friends, I had no desire sexually. He always did.
That's the thing. That's my point.
He knew it was never going to happen.
Right.
But he never stopped trying.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's my point. And then he'll get other girls.
Oh, all the time.
But when it doesn't work out,
I'm like,
but it'll never work out because he's in love with you. That's the thing. If I met a guy and he's
when
like,
Harry met Sally, hello.
It's like, oh, my best friend Sheila. I'm like, wait, what? You have a best friend Sheila? Oh yeah, we do everything together. I'm like, nope. Bye. Thanks for the drink.
Nope.
Okay, here's another one. Would you date a guy? I know what you're gonna say, but I still want to say it because I came up with it. Would you rather date a guy who only ate chicken nuggets for every meal? Or a guy who only wore tank tops with the big side holes every day of the year, regardless of the weather?
Oh, chicken nugget boy. For sure. I couldn't be seen with somebody who would wear something like that in public.
All the time?
Never.
Every day?
No.
I'm in construction. I'm hot.
No.
I go to the gym constantly.
I'm telling you, Jerry and I have had the worst fights the last week because he re-wore a t-shirt that he didn't wash.
Ash shirt. I'm like,
he did it. Yes, he did. I think I've complained about this before, but I'm like, okay, what is with you re-wearing clothes? I only wore it once. I'm like, you wore it all day yesterday and you slept in it. And you're wearing it again.
It's dirty. It's one thing to put it on to go to dinner, take it off and go, I could wear this again.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's not that. And if it was that, I would totally not say shit.
But you're getting your daily smell on it.
I'm like, one, you're getting your daily smell on it. Two, there's the ketchup that you drip down your front of you when you were eating a hot dog last night.
It's not even clean.
I wiped it off. You can't even see. Stop it.
Listen, chicken nugget boy.
I literally have shamed him. Yes, shaming him. I'm like, you're disgusting. I can literally smell you. Like, I can't.
I fully expected you to go, I am married to chicken nugget boy.
I am married to... Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
It's just hot dog boy, cube steak boy,
hot dog
pepperoni pizza boy.
Wandering through the house.
If it's on a kid's menu, that's what he eats.
Okay, here's the last one. Would you rather date a Disney adult or a Harry Potter adult?
Fuck's sakes. Both of them are like,
you got to pick.
Jesus.
But you have to pick one.
Lord. Okay. They're both treacherous and I can't even imagine.
They're very hard to take.
But I would have to go with Disney boy, and that's only because Harry Potter scares me a little.
Aww.
I love it. I've seen all the movies. But the spiritual scary side of it,
you don't like
having that in my house and having it everywhere. Yeah. It would probably give me nightmares.
Well, I understand.
They're both funny? Awful though.
I am not into Harry Potter whatsoever.
I mean, have you seen the movies at least?
I've seen most. I mean, here's the thing. When Harry Potter was a big thing for our family, it was the books.
Yeah.
So I would go to Barnes & Noble and I would buy 3 Harry Potter books for all the kids, and they would read them voraciously. They loved the storyline. And I think there's like 6 books now.
There's a lot.
I bought them all.
Yeah.
Every time one came out, I bought it for them. And then when the movies came out,
it was like, oh my God.
They were like, couldn't believe it. Yeah. And so I never took them because they were like teenagers by then. Yeah. So I didn't have to take them.
It was kind of at that, because my daughter and her bestie were
big into Harry Potter.
And they read the books.
Yes. And so for them, it was so exciting. Yeah. It was like for us, because I read every Little House on the Prairie book.
So did I.
So when I realized there was a show, I loved the show. Exciting, and I watched every single episode. Mm-hmm. So I get it. I understand the passion and everything. Well, I had to take them to one movie, and it was the one where the big wizard dies. The Dumbledore.
Yeah, Dumbledore.
He dies.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
And
that movie.
We got there. We got there kind of late, and this was before you could reserve chairs.
Right.
And so we were sitting.
God, what a brilliant thing that is.
Oh my God, best invention ever.
Why we never thought of this?
Why did no one think of that before? Yeah. It's so much better.
It's brilliant.
You don't have to wait in lines. I mean, you can just. Oh my God, it's so good. You can walk in during.
But why do people still do dumb shit like try to sit in your seat? I mean, it hasn't happened to me at the movie theater, but I did tell you about my experience on the airplane, right? Where I had to hide in the stew cabin while she was kicking someone off.
I do remember.
It's like, you idiot! Especially on an airplane.
Everything's reserved now.
On an airplane, we're like the military now.
It's
like,
true.
Get on and get your seat. Touch no one. Talk to no one. Don't let your mask come down for even a moment.
It's like the soup Nazi.
Yes.
Just sit down and shut up.
Why are we not doing the rules, people? Did you think no one was okay?
Anyway, so we're sitting at the Harry Potter. So we're sitting in like the front row. So like our necks are craned.
Why? Because it was all you could get?
Because we got there late and that was all that was left.
Okay.
I mean, we were probably, maybe we're like in the 5th row. So I mean, the kids could see.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting with them and I am bored out of my mind.
Oh, I would have been.
And I'm just like, I don't understand this Harry Potter thing. Right. I don't get it.
The obsession.
So Dumbledore hasn't died yet, but he's getting ready to. And there are people behind me who are very not child.
Oh, groans.
They're groans. And all of a sudden, I hear,
oh, God. Shut up.
God. And I'm like, what's happening?
She's crying.
I know. I knew she was crying, but why? I didn't know why. So I turn and I look at her, and she's very distraught. And she's far too old to be doing
Weirdo.
it. So I'm looking, and then he goes flinging down, and he dies on the ground, right? And I'm like, oh, the Dumbledore died. And I'm like, okay. And so my kids are just like, oh, man, I can't believe I'm seeing this.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
And then this woman behind me is like,
oh,
and I'm like,
come on.
I'm like, if it wasn't.
Did you do the sharp turn out? Like, really? Without saying it?
No, but I definitely know I went. I did the heavy
Hopefully
sigh.
As loud as possible.
I was like, and if you cry during Harry Potter, I judge you harshly. Well, if you aren't a child.
My son got emotional in the last Spider-Man.
That's different.
When all the Spider-Mans were together on the building.
I love that scene.
He loved that scene so bad.
We all love that scene.
He looked at me and he's like, Mom, really?
That was the best movie. It was so good. And I love Zendaya.
And when we left, he was like, Mom, I got like a little teary-eyed at that moment.
We all did.
I go, so did I, son.
So sweet. Anyway, so I'm just like, oh. So I left and I'm like, did you guys like the movie? Oh, we loved it. It was so great. La, la, la. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy for you, sweetie. And so then we get home and I'm like, never again.
Kill me before I do
I
that
don't know
twice.
why I can't relate. I just cannot relate. And so I'm watching and I'm like, these people are magicians.
I know.
They have powers. Why are they struggling? Like Harry Potter is being raised by horrible, abusive family. Why didn't he just
abolish them? Yeah, I know.
Kill them and move forward. Go live in Potter World land.
Yeah.
And don't go back to regular world. Like, what are we doing?
That's the thing, though.
It's so ridiculous.
It's based on a book.
Conjure up a mansion and live.
That would be boring, and then we wouldn't have a movie to watch.
Just like the Lord of the Rings, why do they have to walk to the fire? You have a griffin. Get on it. Fly. Dump the ring. Call it a day. But no, we have to suffer.
No. Yes. Well,
stop it.
I've never watched a Lord of the Rings movie in my life.
Well, the Lord of the Rings show has come out. Oh my God. And
God, Amazon is promoting it. It's killing me. I can't shop on Amazon without watching your trailer.
Oh my God, Stephanie. I hit Amazon to buy gummies. And this huge brown thing, I'm like, what is this? Did I
Lord of the Rings.
Did I accidentally press something?
No, you did not.
No, it's
They're
there.
shoving it down our throats. We don't want it.
I'm like, where's the X? Where's it? How do I get out of this?
No, you can't.
What do I click?
We now have to see advertisements to buy things on Amazon. We spend 90% of our income on you, Jeff Bezos.
I spend so much money on Amazon.
I mean,
I'm like, I want to.
Jerry doesn't.
Opt
He
out?
can't even decipher because he's like looking on. He's like, fuck. I mean, it's like Amazon, 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 Amazon.
I'm like, look, we get everything because I hate people.
Literally everything.
And by the way, I am in agreement with most people. Target sucks now.
I haven't been to a Target in so long.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah.
I walked into Target for some reason. First of all, it smells. Second of all, I'm like, this is the same shit that was here 4 years ago.
Totally.
I'm like over it.
Yeah, they really need to rebrand.
They need to rebrand
store.
it. It's turning into Kmart.
Yeah, it's bad.
And listen, Kmart wasn't good.
No, Kmart wasn't good, and Target doesn't even have the same appeal that Kmart. At least everything was cheap.
Yeah, the
Target shit is expensive.
It's like Mervyn's and Kohl's and Target,
and yet Target
Walmart.
doesn't discount anything.
They don't.
Kohl's does
a lot.
Yes,
and you can also return your Amazon purchases at Kohl's,
which I happen to love.
You know you do it. Anyway,
I do it.
Yeah, so I'm not into the Harry Potter thing, so I would pick the Disney adult as well.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of
Disney's a little bit more general. And universal.
and there are varying degrees of Disney adult. You know, there are people who just like to go to the park 3 times a week.
People who paint their fingernails.
Oh,
like Mickey. Oh, we're getting ready to go to our happy place.
So they do all the things.
Fuck up. Your happy place.
It's so funny.
You're 50.
It's funny because people go, "Oh, way to judge adults who are having joy," and I'm like, yeah, I do.
Okay,
a little. I mean, I'm fine, but the thing is then when I do choose to go to Disneyland, which Daryl and I have gone without children, and it's very different because we are getting our cocktail on.
Yeah, and you don't have
and we spend a lot of our time at the resort. Mm-hmm. We go to the park, but we spend most of our time in the late night hours.
Well, you don't have to disappoint anyone.
No.
You don't have to stand in a line if you just don't fucking feel like it.
It's so freeing.
I know.
It's so freeing to go without kids.
When you take your kids, you want them to experience things. Like you want, you've never been on Pirates of the Caribbean, and you have to do it.
And they believe it all.
They do. It's real. And so you don't want to skirt anything.
No.
By
it's magic.
Because I don't feel like standing here for 2 fucking hours with all these people. You do it.
Especially when you have children. You have to do it.
Yeah. So Jerry has been trying to get me to go to Disneyland for years.
With the baby or just with the 2 of you? Okay. You guys will have a good time.
The thought of it I would rather pull my out.
First of all, when it comes to things like Disneyland vacations, you get what you pay for.
I know. And that's the other thing is like, I could go around the world and back for as much as it costs to go to fucking Disneyland.
It's either something you do once in a lifetime and then you're like, if you love it, Jeff, save up your money and we'll go. If you think of it as a once in a lifetime opportunity, then you're like, okay, this is like if we're going to Hawaii and we're never coming back.
Right.
You know, we're going to do it upright one time.
Right.
Which is what we did. We said, we're going to do it upright one time. We stayed at the Disneyland Hotel. We went to Goofy's Kitchen. We did the early morning thing. We went all the way. Yeah. Bought them all their shit.
Yeah.
bought the merch, the stuffed animals, all the things. They got their churro, the balloon, all of it.
Everybody had Mickey ears at $50 a pop.
Everything was embroidered. I mean, we stayed for the shows. We did the fireworks, parades, all of it. I wanted to stab myself in the eyes.
Oh God, see, all of that sounds so torturous to me.
I was exhausted.
And expensive.
And we
dropped $10,000 for me to be miserable for 3 days.
It wasn't that much, but
I'm telling you. Okay.
Oh no, I know, I get it.
And I can't stay in a regular room.
No, Stephanie,
don't give me 2 twins. It ain't happening.
No, you can stay at the Disney Grand Californian and get exactly what I know you want. Those are all suites.
And they're very expensive.
They're incredibly expensive. In fact, I refuse to stay there.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, so I am going to pay for this trip with
conjoining rooms.
With a part of my body, because that's how much it's going to cost. I'm going to have to donate an organ.
Yeah.
And then be miserable the whole time.
You won't be miserable because you know why? Because there's alcohol. And if you stay at Disneyland, the resort, you can go to the pool for the day.
Why do places do this to us, to us parents? They make us go here. We spend half of our salaries, and then they say no alcohol.
Well, Disneyland has changed their tune.
That's good. Because I went to a water park this last weekend for a birthday party.
Yes.
No alcohol. And if they suspect that you've been drinking, in other words, if you're drunk and acting like a buffoon, they will throw you out.
They don't want you to drown.
Okay, fine. There's that.
I get it.
But I was like, I would rather die.
I'm like, it's 100 degrees. Can a girl get a gin and tonic?
Jesus.
I don't know.
I know how to contain myself in public.
I know. Speaking of someone who can't contain himself in public, in Houston, Texas, 24-year-old Jessica Sinclair was taken into police custody after she was witnessed by coworkers dipping hot wings into her vagina before serving them to customers.
Oh my God.
From what authorities have told us, Jessica would dip wings into her vagina while on and off her period. This was done to customers who had been rude or made off remarks about her appearance. Tampering with food along with addition of human blood is a criminal offense. Is this surprising to you?
No, it's a felony.
With special circumstances. It carries a sentence of up to 20 years in prison. The lesser charge of inserting the wings into her vagina while not menstruating can carry a prison term of up to 10 years.
How do you prove this? Just witnesses?
Co-workers watched her do it. And they reported her.
Fuck. Oh my God.
And somebody had to call the popo and she was arrested.
You know
now,
what?
I saw a photo of her. Cute girl.
Why?
But I mean, for whatever reason, she was unhinged and
clearly
was punishing people.
Jerry and I have stopped going to...
This is at Hooters.
Right. We stopped going to like run-of-the-mill chain restaurants or even... I mean, we will go to a smaller establishment.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, it's one of the reasons why we have to do fine dining anymore because... which we can't really afford all that often.
Right.
Because there's so many reality shows on TV now about like bar rescue and like these restaurant makeover shows. And I'm like... We have been eating at places like this for 4 years.
Of ill repute.
Can you imagine what we have consumed?
It just depends. I know that there was...
I've been to shady bars. Shady bars.
Oh, they're filthy.
And eaten wings.
They're
eaten
filthy.
Whatever. Oh my God. Jamie.
All it does is prove to me how resilient our bodies
That's
are.
true.
We can handle way more than we think.
Yeah.
Our bodies can... And so when something takes us out...
It's really bad.
It's got to be pretty bad.
I mean, I'm telling you.
And I'm not talking about just us. I mean humans.
Yeah. You mean human? Yeah, mankind.
Mankind can handle more disgust than they wish to.
So can the earth.
With.
That's why when people are talking about, I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe in climate change.
Oh no,
it's
real.
Right, but at the same time, the earth is quite resilient.
I have been told more often than not that we're the parasite. We're the parasite that needs to be rid of.
Well, we were talking. I don't know how we got on the subject the other day, but somebody brought up an alien, and I'm like, you know what? I can't talk about this subject with most people.
Why?
Because I don't believe in them.
Oh, you don't think aliens exist?
No.
Not in the sense that people think they are. I think that there are alien not beings with brains, but
Life.
I think there's alien life. I just don't think it's this uber sophisticated thought processing creatures that are literally ignoring us. Like, we would know about them by now.
Right. Yeah. Well, so
I've been around long enough to
I have
know.
a very unpopular opinion, and so so I can't talk about it with most people. And
Sure. They go, how can you think that we're the only ones around?
Yes, it's like getting into politics and religion with people.
Yeah.
Aliens is like on that list.
To you, yeah.
To most people.
Yes.
Anytime you start talking about space exploration and alien and artificial intelligence, people go fucking ballistic. You know,
they're
like
very strongly opinionated.
very strong opinions.
Okay, would you rather date somebody who believed that aliens were real, like to the ground believed that they were real, or
somebody who went to church twice a week,
who was incredibly religious?
I think I'd have to go the alien route.
Yeah, I couldn't do religious.
Because I mean, I'm like,
I'd be like, look, you and I just agree to disagree on this.
It just gets very judgy, and
the
way I live my life, that would never
Stephanie.
be copacetic.
Like, first of all, you're expecting me to go somewhere on time twice a week?
Well, I wouldn't.
No.
I'd be like, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
But I'm not. And when you get home, I'm probably going to be 2 sheets to the wind.
And then they'll be like, you know what? I've been consulting with my pastor, and they just said this isn't working out, and I need to let you go.
Yeah, you know how I feel about religion. I'm very
agnostic.
No, I don't judge people who
me neither.
whatever you are.
Oh yeah, I have no
your
judgment.
Yeah,
No.
I'm like, I'm not going to judge you for that.
No,
so.
unless you're hurting others, then I have a big problem with it.
Well, I have that in general for most. Yeah, but
Yes.
yeah,
But if you're using religion to hurt people, fuck you.
yeah, no, agree.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. But I mean, some people who just need it in their life and they rely on
spirituality.
faith.
It's
Totally.
fine.
Yeah,
I have no problem with
about
that whatsoever. Anyway, do you have any this or that's for me?
Well, you could have told me in advance.
I didn't know I was going to do it.
I'm terrible about
I didn't know I was gonna do it.
thinking.
Well, anyway, yeah. So the Hooters girl, I don't know what the update is.
Oh wait, no, I have one.
Oh, what?
Because I've often thought this about you guys.
Oh.
You and Daryl are similar creatures.
no,
and
what?
no, it's not a no.
Oh.
It's just it's very polar opposite from me.
Okay.
But you know what? You and I have always been very, very different in our, which is why I find it so funny that we can even talk about things that we watch for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
Because they're usually like super different.
Yeah, I like it though.
Right, same. But
Yeah.
I can remember that being from like childhood.
Yeah.
Like you and
You
Paula
and I are very different.
You and Paula have very similar taste.
We do.
You do.
In entertainment.
Correct.
Yes,
Like you guys
it's
both
true.
like the Police Academy movies, if I remember correctly.
I don't love them as much as she does.
Well, not now, but when we were little,
I liked Airplane.
that too.
Yeah, stuff like
Those-
that. Yes.
those types of-
slapstick
yeah.
comedy for sure. Mom hated it.
And
she hates
even
it so
at
much.
even at the tender age of like 10 or 11, I'm like, this is so dumb. I can't watch this.
It's like it was your Harry Potter.
Dad loved that shit though.
Yeah, he did.
So I'm like mother. Ah.
All right, mother.
But yeah, okay. Would you rather? It has to be married. It can't be date.
Okay.
Would you rather marry a person who only watched National Geographic shows?
Okay.
Nature-based shows.
All right.
Basically like organic, granola type shows.
Yes, I get it.
Wild
Richard
Kingdom.
Attenborough.
Yeah.
Mhm. This is the rare guinea hen found only in one part of Syria. Yes. Its eggs are very small. Right. All the time.
Or yeah, and they hated or loathed adult
else?
animation shows. Like Bob's Burgers.
They hated it?
Hated it.
So it's either or?
Right?
I'd have to go with the National Geographic. I can't. I have to watch my cartoons.
I knew it.
I
knew that's what you would pick.
I literally am. The other day, there was a Bob's Burgers marathon, and I was in heaven. I've seen every episode 1,000,000 times.
And I've never
doesn't matter.
seen one.
Stephanie, you are so missing out. But that's fine. You and I are
So you're like,
different.
wait. Okay.
It's fine.
Not judging.
You're not into the animation. I get it.
You know what? It's there are so many shows that I would probably like if I watched them.
Well, you also have to have the time. You have to have the time to do
and
it.
the desire and the energy, and those things never coincide with me.
No, I
mostly.
mean, Daryl, I got angry, physically angry with him the other day. I will not watch any news on TV. I refuse to watch. First of all, cable news, I refuse to watch.
Jerry
But
turns on KCRA every morning.
I used to watch the Today Show from
Yeah, you did.
7 to 7:30 every day because it was actual news.
So do you not like Hoda and
I don't watch anything.
Savannah?
I don't turn on the television until like 7 o'clock at night.
Oh, wow.
Literally watch nothing. And so, and we DVR all the shit we want to watch anyway.
Yeah.
But
So when you watch it when you're ready.
if it wasn't for me, Daryl would absolutely consume news. He likes to watch it. And I understand why. Because he works all fucking day.
Totally.
He doesn't hear about the shit that goes on all the
Right.
day. Whereas because of our show, I'm constantly doing social media.
Right.
I'm on all the time looking for stuff.
You
And
know
so
what's happening
I'm
at any
aware
given moment.
Almost minute by minute.
Yeah.
Not every day, but a lot of the time. And
Yeah.
so, anyway, So when he turns on,
I like to beat you to a celebrity death if I can, but it rarely happens.
You know what? I have been backing off on the celebrity death stuff because I felt like the Grim Reaper, and I didn't
and it
like
makes you look old. Me too.
And I didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to be that girl.
I don't want to be the person announcing.
And that's like when you're old, that's all you talk about.
It's about death and medical.
You hear? Hope died yesterday. Yep.
I know.
She was perfectly fine.
She was perfectly healthy. The next thing you know, she had brunch with her children, and the next day didn't wake up. Gone, just like that.
Yep.
Now she's got
Do
that
they have
dog.
life insurance? Well, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they've supplemented. I'm not quite sure.
These are the conversations of the elderly, and I don't want to partake in those quite yet.
But you know Leonard, he probably didn't keep up on anything. He probably has no idea how to log into their account. She did everything. Right. He's going to have to use her dead finger to log into their account. Just so
their
he can
daughter's
see.
flying in from Florida, so
well, thank God for that. Yeah. Is it Eliza or Lindsay? Because
it's Lindsay. You know, Eliza's going through a divorce right now.
Eliza has a lot on her plate, and she just can't. She can barely keep herself
and
together.
And she has all those children.
So many children.
God. And the ones
I broke. Sorry.
What is wrong with us?
Fuck! I was doing so well.
And all of a sudden you realize, you're like, what are we doing?
Shit! I was going so well, I started to laugh because now they're real. No, Elizabeth in Florida is real. Oh, my poor Elizabeth. Her husband.
They're gonna have to take enough savings to bury her.
Jesus Christ.
Well, she'll just have to be cremated.
Well, Elizabeth is a wreck. I don't know how she's gonna make the funeral, but if she doesn't come, Lindsay will have a fit.
And does she have anything to wear that's not a sweatpant?
No.
Well, it's all she can fit in now. She knows she's trying to lose weight. But
she's trying so hard. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
These conversations are manifestations of thoughts that we have all the time.
Backstories for everyone.
When you're out walking around in life and you see people, you know, you're in your mind, you're like, oh my God, really?
I came up with a full backstory when we were in Arizona, and Daryl's like, you just know their whole life now? I'm like, oh yeah, everything.
I can tell.
It was just a worker.
Nobody wears those fuzzy pajama bottoms to the grocery store unless you're either on your period and you're here for tampons.
And you're a bitch.
Or you're just a slob who can't get weight.
I'm like, I'm just going to assume that you're being a complete asshole because you're on the rag.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't know. I can even be on like bleeding like a gunshot and I have to go get tampons and I will put on a pair of jeans.
I will put on a lip and a clip.
Yes.
No doubt.
People, lip and clip.
Okay, so I have an ugly and awkward moment of the week.
You do.
That's fine. This is older. I've just never. I have to save them.
Yeah,
because I have so many. So,
right.
So as you know, I play World of Warcraft.
Yes.
And we, not right now, but there's times where we all play collectively. And I know you know because your daughter plays at least used to.
Yeah. I think she still does.
You put on your headphones, you have a mic, and you talk to others. Yeah. And I think they're real friends personally. I think they're wonderfully lovely people.
I'm ashamed to admit that my daughter met her husband in World of Warcraft.
Don't be ashamed. I play with a couple who's expecting their first child and they met.
Yeah.
On World of Warcraft.
It just so happened. Yeah, it's real. And it just so happened that they lived in the same state and they only lived like 2 hours from each other so they could actually meet.
That's so nice.
And they were already in love before they'd ever set eyes on one another.
I used to not believe that people you would meet online.
How could they possibly be real?
Unless you're actually interacting with somebody and looking in their eyeballs, how can they be a real friend? But the reality is that that's not true.
Well, technology is so amazing.
And same, you tend to gravitate towards people that you would be friends with in real life.
Totally.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I love about this little group of adults. And they're all adults that we play with. Anyway, so I have a microphone and I'm not the most tech savvy person. So
you're getting better. You do pretty good with the show.
I am getting better, but with gaming and stuff, I'm a slow learner with playing this game. Okay. I've always been this way. I think it's just because I'm nice that they kind of tolerate my poor play. I'm not the best player, but that's fine.
Well, they like you.
Anyway, so I have the mic on, and Bodega came in to the office where I play, and he just came in, and he's old now, and he just likes love. That's all he wants. Aww. So he comes up, he puts his big fat head. He's huge, so he puts his head on my lap. I'm like, Bodega, hello, my love bug boy, my little Bodega blue. And I'm doing what we all do with our animals.
Yes.
And all of a sudden I hear,
Kevin's my good boy.
He's a good boy.
My little Mr. Love and Fluff and stuff.
Exactly.
My little
so all of a sudden I hear this, oh, hi, you're such a good boy too. And I'm like, hello? They totally heard me baby talking my dog.
Oh, did you think you were muted?
No, yeah, I didn't know. And I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, how do I mute
I
it?
thought maybe you guys were really good friends that they already knew that you
No,
know.
and at some point, I think I just ripped the cord out of the thing.
Ah!
I was like, holy crap. I'm like, it's charged. It's Bluetooth. Ripping it out does nothing. They can still hear you. I'm like, oh no. It was horrifying. I was
That's
embarrassed.
cute. Well, at least you weren't, at least it wasn't like Daryl.
Screaming at my husband. God damn it!
Like me.
Shut the door! The Wi-Fi is wonky right now. You're ruining it. It's like, are you playing something? This is an important meeting. Everyone log off. The internet is slow.
Hello, I'm back.
Hi.
They're all looking at me horrified, like, God. I'm
like, you're fun.
We've been married for 25 years. It's okay.
This is what I do. All right. This is how I get shit done. Now.
Actually, they were cracking up laughing. They were all laughing.
That's really funny.
Like, you have such a sweet exterior. I'm like, lies.
I don't. I saw a thing the other day and it said, if you thought that you were alone and no one could see you, and you were doing something that was somewhat embarrassing, and then you come to find out that someone was actually watching you, what do you think it would be? What embarrassing thing would you be caught doing that you would normally no one would catch you do? I know what mine would be.
Probably picking at my face.
I would be snacking because I don't like people watching me.
That's true.
Eat.
I eat in shame all the time.
And I don't. I'm not a binge eater. I'm not an emotional eater.
I'm not either.
But
I'm a hungry eater.
Me too. But I'm ritualistic, and I know it's because I'm a little nuts. I'm aware of my issues.
Same. Me too.
But I'm very ritualistic.
I have to remind myself sometimes
to eat.
No, that I'm weird.
Oh, that you're weird. Oh yeah. Well, because I accept you, and you accept my weirdness, and we know we're
here.
Weird.
Yes, but outside,
out there. Yeah. So I have this ritual. I'm going to say it because it'll help me. I have this ritual that I go through.
When you clap your hands when you brush your teeth?
When I clap my hands and brush my... No. God, no.
You regret telling me that like I regret telling you guys about the tuna in the car.
Thank you. You're
because
right.
It will not go away and I'm so tired of hearing it.
The stink that will never come off.
I mean, and Paula loves to bring it up.
Oh, a million times.
God, I'm like, all right.
It's like, oh, please. It's like the one time. Okay. There's probably like one or two things that Jerry has on you that are embarrassing, right?
The thing about Jerry, he's so forgiving when it comes
it's not about forgiveness.
No.
It's about catching you.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Like in his mind, doing something
she's
stupid
normal.
or weird or awkward or embarrassing, it's like he's so dismissive of it immediately because he knows how embarrassing it is for me.
That's nice. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
I don't have that. So Daryl and I hadn't been married for very long, probably like 6 or 7 years. No, less than that, actually. It was like less than that. I was just getting into learning how to cook better.
Right.
And I had made a pot roast for the first time.
Okay.
And it was really fucking good. And the gravy was banging.
Mom used to make those.
Yeah. And Daryl does not like pot roast.
Really?
It's too gristly. He just doesn't like
love
it.
it.
But I make it better even. And he will tolerate it. I'll inhale it like crazy. I actually use short ribs instead of pot roast. Anyway.
I love short ribs.
Oh my God, they're so fucking good. So how come we haven't gone out to dinner? We need to go out to dinner.
We do.
Anyway.
I've been saying it forever.
You're right. Anyway, so it was so good. I'm like, I can't believe I made this. So I had like seconds and thirds.
Yeah.
After all the kids,
stuffed. Yeah.
all the kids had eaten, they were bathed and they were getting ready for bed. And I was sitting, I was sitting somewhere and I was looking at something and it was so good that I licked the plate. I licked the plate of all of its gravy.
The gravy is that good though.
And Daryl saw me do it.
Oh shit.
And he goes, what are you doing? And I go, nothing. He goes, are you licking a plate? And I'm like, no. Get out. I'm like, no, I'm not. And he's like, you are. Look at your plate. Look like a dog ate it. Stephanie. Oh God. To this day, he goes, you want to look another plate? I'm like, fuck you.
And this was literally like 20 years ago, right?
It was a million years ago. And he's like, he will bring it up. He's like, I just know you're not perfect because I've seen you lick a plate. And I'm like, I really fucking hate you right now, man. Right. Like really bad. You know what though?
Yeah.
I got him back because you know what I did? Because he was such a child when I met him.
True.
He behaved like a child.
Yeah.
He's super into
video games.
He was in
his 30s, yeah.
Super into video games. And so he would play like he used to when he was a kid. And he would play excessively to the point where I'm like, dude, we need stuff. We need to do stuff. You
Like,
can't
stop playing
You
video
can't play a
games
video game
for 12 hours.
on the weekends.
Right.
He would do it. Right. I have a photo of it, and he never did it again. He was sitting on the floor, and he had his feet propped on the entertainment center on both sides of the television, and he was playing and holding his controller playing.
Looking ridiculous.
He was in pajamas. His hair was a mess. And back then he weighed like 100 pounds. And I went, click. And he goes, what are you doing? And I go, I am going to show everybody how you act
right
on the weekends, Mr. Man.
Yeah. You think you're so important at the radio station?
He's like, that is really mean. I'm like, it is.
And I don't care.
And I'm like, and I have no problem with this.
Yeah, none.
In fact, I put it in the photo album. He's like, why is this in here? And I'm like,
well, now it's funny. And
of course, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I mean, but he was sitting on a couch cushion.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just so immature. And I'm like, here we go. This is what you have.
This sums it up every time I walk in the room.
Which is why the licking of the plate thing was such a win for him.
Yeah. Oh God. I don't know that there's anything that Jerry has on me like that. I fortunately was already in my 20s.
Yeah, you were older.
So I'd probably done most of my really embarrassing things in my first marriage.
It's just that, like, for me, like I was saying about the eating thing, I have these little rituals where I'm like, I have an apple, I have to cut the apple a certain way. And then I have the cheese, and it has to be cut a certain way. And I place it in one specific bowl that I have. And then I have Triscuits, and that is my meal. And I don't want to eat it around anyone.
Right.
And so I'd make it, and Joe's like, oh, what do you make? I'm like, nothing. Leave me alone. This is my thing.
Mine is mostly, I eat in secrecy because I can't not create food for others if I'm hungry.
Well, yeah.
And this causes me to starve a lot.
Yeah,
because I'm not making a whole fucking this isn't a restaurant, people.
This is not a deli.
No, that's how I feel. It's like if I'm making something, it's
Yeah.
like, what are you making? I'm hungry. I'm starving. I'm like, fucking make something then. I mean, Christ, I waited till 2:00 when everybody was doing their own thing. It's like they smell it.
They know that
I think she's in the kitchen making a sandwich.
I have to say that it's been, well, I saw something the other day and it really made me sad, actually. And I told Daryl, and I said, I saw a woman who was probably my age on some social media site. And she goes, I just realized I'm an empty nester, but I will be making dinner for someone for the rest of my life. And I was like, oh my God, me too.
Right?
Me too.
So true.
Oh my God. I told Daryl that I'm like, we should just get someday we'll get really rich and get a private chef. He goes, but I would really miss your cooking. I'm like, oh.
Well, I'll teach the chef how to do it.
Okay, fine.
No, seriously. Yeah. No, she's not wrong. I agree.
And it was just something, she had this epiphany.
I tried to starve him out to see if it'll work.
Well, they just get something of themselves.
Eventually, I mean, I think he's starting to kind of figure that out. Yeah. Like, I am not going to feed you. I'm not your personal chef. Like,
I know.
I will eat chips for 12 hours to not make
just
food.
To not make food. It's funny.
But then I make Jeff something and he's like, what's that? I'm like, it's chicken nuggets, fool. You won't eat it. I purposely made something you would not eat.
He's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm hungry. I'm so tired of sitting around being starving all the time. Well, no one's making you. God, there's $300 worth of groceries in the kitchen. Go.
I know. It's funny because now that Malia's basically halfway out the door, she's never home for dinner.
Oh.
I'm never hungry, I've noticed. And so Daryl will be like, so what are we going to have for dinner? And I'm like, I don't feel like cooking anything. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just don't. It's hot, whatever. And he's like, okay. So he'll whip out DoorDash or whatever. I'm like, that's fine if you want DoorDash. I go, but I'm literally eating whatever we have.
Yeah.
And I'll just put something together. I refuse to make him lunch. I don't
blame you.
But I will make dinner like 3 or 4 nights a week.
So do I.
But I have become resentful, and I don't know why. It's so dumb. People have to feed.
Because now it's like a chore almost.
I don't look forward to it at all.
Yeah. So
in fact, I just think I cannot wait until it's bedtime.
Honestly,
because I don't want to eat.
So my slavery can end.
So that the indentured servitude can come to a pause.
I'm telling you, this is why I've tried to, we were talking about reinvigorating and stuff with our live show a couple weeks ago. And I am trying to reinvigorate myself because I've tired of the same food that I always cook
Stephanie,
because I have to cater to other people who eat like 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
And it's so boring to me.
Yeah.
And I have such a refined palate.
Oh, Stephanie, you crave cuisine.
I hate living in my life at home, my
With
food life.
The food life, yeah.
So one thing that I have noticed, though, is that my family is very partial to Mexican food or Latin food in general, not just Mexican.
Great.
So now I'm like making my own salsas and like my own beans, and it's fun. It's actually fun.
And you can make them any way you want.
I do. And there's like variations that I've started. So now that I've got the basics down of like how not to ruin it, now I can start like doing other things to make it taste different.
And they can still eat their regular, but you can add.
And that's the beautiful thing about Mexican food or Spanish.
So
the condiments are endless.
It's so true. God.
So, yes. Right now I have habanero chilies at home. I'm going to make a tomatillo salsa and see how that goes.
It'll be delicious.
I'm excited.
Salsa verde.
Well, I have Patty Yinich's cookbook, which I
that's right.
She's the chick on PBS.
She's very authentic.
I love her.
Yes,
She goes to Mexico, and that
all the time.
half her episodes are her in Mexico, and the other half are when she comes home, and then she makes it. Yeah, it's
so
super
good.
fun.
Oh my God, now I'm hungry.
I'm
now I want
starving.
Mexican.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the show. Thank you for listening. Well, we will be back after London.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh my God, we're gonna have so much to talk about.
So much,
and we'll probably go live on that one.
That'd be awesome.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye.